You played the other guys twice. That's 30 games. Easy to split the 52 games left in your conference. You play 10 teams 4 times. You play the other 4 teams 3 times. Do away with this because Orlando or Atlanta is going to have to be the road team when they had a better record than Boston potentially.
I like everything you're saying. In the old days, we used to have a suggestion box in every company. But now, because we have video, we should cut that and send it to the office.
That's right. Here's Richardson, a 3, and the Magic take a 1-point lead. So for the second time tonight, Orlando's erased a deficit, and now they're on top by 1.
Now, for you people who understand the second shot attempts, they have 10 second shot attempts for 12 points. They are beating the Celtics at the offensive board area.
9-0 run for the Magic, and here's the Ryan Anderson foul as he and Bass collide coming baseline. Garnett takes a seat with 10 points and 5 boards.
You just like the spirit that Orlando has right now. They came back big in the second quarter, and once they went down at the beginning of this third quarter, a good timeout, and they've rallied, and they're playing excellent basketball.
Open Avery Bradley, 1 shy of a career high. 10 of 12 shooting for Bradley.
I mean, you can't ask him to do anything more. You say, well, he doesn't have a lot of assists. He doesn't need to because he scores. He scores the ball, and then he defends, and he does a nice shot. This is a good battle. He and Jameer Nelson. He got away with a push there. Here's another second shot.
Redick guarded by Keon Dooley, who checked in a moment ago. After Orlando's 11th offensive board, Anderson a fading flip. And Pierce on the board. Pierce only has 3 boards, so he'd have to do a lot of work on that end to get a triple-double. Bass going to go the other way. Offensive foul.
Yeah, I like the bump. The ref was right there. The foul. Led with that shoulder. Now, if you're a Celtic fan, you're saying, hey, that's contact inside of the defensive area. We should be able to take the contact and go. Now, you can see Doc is complaining right now to the lead official, but you're not going to get any sympathy here. Oh,
Nelson.
baby, watch out.
Second row on that pass. Looking for J.J. Redick.
Yeah,
He found a guy with a beer in his hand. He got up, protected his date, and didn't spill a beer, wearing his hat backwards. Nice job. Bass over Richardson. Jay Rich the board, and Boston is slowed down on the offensive end a little bit.
Have. See, no second shot attempts. That's why they're 30th in the league. They're 30th in the league in second chance opportunities and second chance points. Look at this.
Ryan Anderson is having some kind of night again on the offensive board.
Now, Mike, that is a true up and under. He took the ball, he faked up, he stepped back underneath, and he went up and laid it in.
Bradley gets to the elbow and missed it. That was an old school up and under.
That's right.
From Anderson.
I also like now this team that is so small, they're holding the Celtics to 1 shot.
On the arm, Pierce in the act of shooting. Jason Richardson coming to the line on the other side of this timeout as the Magic have come back to take the lead.
Now keep an eye on this up and under. This is an up and under by the numbers. Watch the fake. The Boston Celtics on the defensive glass.
Let's come back to that point on the offensive boards as they miss another free throw. 5 offensive rebounds. He's tied for 8th in the league at 3.5. And I thought Stan Van Gundy made a really good point to us. Only Kevin Love. He's hitting both free throws. Wow. Bad night at the line. Only Kevin Love is really a player you can talk about with offensive rebounds and shoots threes like this. And Anderson leads the entire league, so that most improved player talk is very legit when it comes to Anderson.
Absolutely. Mike, I want us to make another statement about that. He usually is out behind the three-point line when Howard is in the game. So consequently, to get an offensive rebound, he's got to read the rebound and get from behind the line to the glass. You say, why do you say that? Because they never post them up. He's never down inside or gets very few catches unless he gets them in transition.
Doc Rivers wired a moment ago.
It's about down here right now for us. They're scoring every time. Our defense is absolutely let up. And you can see it. All right? You got to go get this. You got to go get it.
Well, he's a frustrated man because he's being outworked, and he knows that. And they were too comfortable because they got off to such a great start, and now they let this young team back in.
Earl Clark going to be called for the illegal screen at the top. And it'll go back the other way. 2 fouls on the third-year man from Louisville. You see Miami has won their game with Toronto, 96-72. Keeping the pressure on Chicago as those two teams head toward their showdown tomorrow night. Good hands by Quentin Richardson to take it away from Pierce.
Yeah, Quentin Richardson, he's been around 11 years. He knows a lot of tricks, and he's played Paul many times.
Anderson long, Clark keeps it alive, but threw it away. Again, you have guys playing moments that they haven't played very often in their career in Earl Clark.
And you want him to play perfectly. It's unfortunate that doesn't happen.
And same deal with Daniel Orton. Right. The undueling with the clock at 4. Cutting his pass off his hands, and Redick never let up defensively.
You're right. Good call, Mike. He hustled. He hustled a long way to get that deflection, and then it went off of Bass. Beautiful.
What I like about Redick, we've seen most of his career. We've done a lot of Orlando games. I love the way he's grown as a complete player. Remember, he was just catch and shoot only. Now there's so much more to his game.
Well, I think that he worked himself and he worked hard.
Steensma meets Clark at the rim, and Pierce comes the other way. Bang in the bucket for Paul.
Now give Steensma all the credit. This is his 3rd block in limited time. Watch how he times this. He gets it beautifully. And we're talking about a guy who hasn't even played 15 minutes in this game, and he has 3 blocks. Then you take that and you run it down the floor, and you get this guy on the foul line involved.
Paul Pierce, 21.
Now, this is just a great move by Pierce. And when you know his game, you know he loves to take you from right to left. And you have to always anticipate him going left.
Chris Duhon in the game being watched by Etwan Moore. Off the curl, Redick, pass to Anderson, and Steensma ingests it.
Well, see, Anderson wanted to foul on that. He thought he got hit with the body.
Quentin Richardson fouled Bass on the other end.
Well, that was a good foul. That was a smart foul because that was going to be a dunk. But how about Steensma? This is just a great play. Watch this now. See, he wanted to push in the back, and he should have gotten the call because Steensma had that left hand down in his lower back and was over his back. Now, I like the fact that he swiped the ball cleanly and all of that, but it was the body contact.
Maybe a guy, Steensma, who was a bit of a defensive liability early on, making the adjustment from playing in Turkey last year. He was out of Wisconsin, undrafted a couple of years ago. And his pick-and-roll defense especially was a bit of a liability. But once Jermaine O'Neal was injured and out with the wrist, Steensman's gotten the opportunity. His defense is much better.
Absolutely. And he's grown into what they like him to do. And the other factor is he's not afraid to go for the block because he's not worrying about fouling anybody.
Daniel Orton comes in for Earl Clark. It's a 7-0 run for Boston. And Steensman's got a rebound.
You can't force anything up there if you're Orlando. Come on, you have to understand, just slow the game back down again. That's how you were able to catch them and go ahead.
5.5 the difference, game and shot clock, back into the quarter. A lot of contact, no whistle, and Bass hits the jumper.
Stan Van Gundy is all upset now.
Get a technical foul, I think, too?
Yeah.
Technical foul is going to be called on Ryan Anderson.
Well, because they're saying he flopped. Okay, now this is a perfect example of did he flop or did he get hit in the chest to flop to knock him to the ground? Because not only could it be going the other way, they make a field goal, now they shoot a technical, it could be a three-point play.
It is with Pierce.
Now keep an eye right here. Was he there? He was definitely there. He was there, and also Paul Pierce. Watch Pierce's weight. He catches him right on the elbow, and you knock him back. So this is very difficult. And also Stan Van Gundy probably could have got a tee himself also.
It's a 10-0 run for Boston.
Now this is the test for Orlando. They can't fold now.
Take it away. Bradley's got time. Bradley. Still a 10-0 run. And the Celtics 12-0 run. When Davis fouled by Steamsma, they changed that play earlier from a block by Steamsma to a steal. And now has 3 fouls.
Davis at the line, shooting 2.
From Big Baby to the big board, TNT tomorrow night. Who writes this stuff? Chicago at Miami, followed by the Clippers at Feast. How about the comeback Phoenix has had? What a story they've been. Sunday, you'll have a game on ESPN, then Oklahoma City at the Lakers, and then on NBA TV, Houston at Miami and New Orleans at the Clippers. The big board, not enough room to fit in all the games. We have another game tonight on ESPN, 2 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday.
Now, if you're an Orlando fan, you're a little upset. That was the 10th foul shot that we've missed in this game. At the other end, Boston 18 for 19 on the line.
Etuan Moore finds KG. Hubie, you did the game last week in Miami, where Garnett hit 4 big pick and pop shots to really close out that game against the Heat.
In the fourth quarter, the pressure was on and the clock was down. He wanted that ball in every situation. That game, they shot 61% from the floor, and then they were 9 for 14 in threes. That was some shooting exhibition.
Keon Dooley do a nice defensive job here on J.J. Redick. The clock's at 5. Big Baby's going to the hole. Going to the line. Careful there. As Glenn takes a tumble.
Well, I liked how he played that. Once he put the ball down, Orton was on the right side of the lane. He went to the basket. And Baby read it perfectly. If he tried to force that ball through, it might have ended up in a turnover.
Garnett was asking for the foul because he only has 1. But it's on Steensma and his 4th. One more coming for Davis.
To make a catch and score.
Down to 5. Here's the rookie out of Purdue. It's Etuan Moore.
You can't do that defensively. Anytime the man comes off with the clock down, come on, you've got to switch out or trap. You can't lay back and give the man an open jump shot. Give Moore a lot of credit. He read the defense perfectly.
Both Moore and Jawan Johnson, the 2 players who were so integral in Purdue's resurgence on the Celtic team. Moore has played more. Good defense inside. Davis right back at Steamsma, going to go the other way.
Now, first of all, give the Celtics credit. That was a great defensive play first. Then give Glenn Davis a ton of credit by going and getting the ball. And then watch, he just drops his arm and he bangs right into the man. Now, you can't do that, even though that is inside of the defensive circle because of the proximity of where you pick the ball up.
That's right. Steamsma's heels are over the circle, but
yeah,
it's the same principle as goaltending with the rim. If you're over the circle with your heels, you're in. Point lead. Orlando needs stops. This is how Davis is schooled in the NBA, trying to guard KG.
Yeah, he can shoot over him every time. He knows it, and that's why Garnett is playing in the post area or in front of the rim.
Hobson tries to get home. Jameer with a nice release. He'll be one of the few guys on this Orlando team who can create a shot for himself.
Well, unfortunately, when he's out of the game, Mike, that's when the run goes the other way. It happened in the first half, it happened in this half.